C'est Gbagbo qu'on voit pour la même patriote. Encore qui est bon, c'est Gbagbo qui soit. Encore qui est bon. La vérité a sonné, que ce que ne serait pour entendre la voix du peuple. C'est le peuple qui décide et c'est le peuple fait témoin. C'est son droit de choisir son président, la
Africans unite, fight against white supremacy, fight against Mayor Bloomberg, stop and frisk. We say free President Laurent Gbagbo, captured illegally by the ICC. We say Africans unite, from Harlem to the Hague, our people are under attack. Stop the attacks against the people of Haiti. We say free the people of Libya. No to the international gangsters who have captured the people and the country of Libya. We say Africans unite from Harlem to the Hague. Get a flyer, find out what's going on where you live. Will you still be able to live in Harlem in the next few years? We say Africans unite because we're under attack from Harlem to the Hague. Everywhere our people are, we're under attack. So we say Africans unite. Fight against Western imperialism and white supremacy. We say Africans unite from Harlem to the Hague. We say Africans unite. Fight against Western imperialism and white supremacy. From Harlem to the Hague, our people are under attack. Africans must unite. Africans must unite. Will we still be in Harlem in the next few years, or will you be a victim of gentrification? We say no to Mayor Bloomberg, stop and frisk, terrorizing African youth and Latino youth. We say no to Mayor Bloomberg, stop and frisk, attacking Latino and black youth. We say free President Laurent Gbagbo of Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. We say free President Laurent Gbagbo, a victim of Western imperialism and white supremacy. We say free President Laurent Gbagbo, duly elected President of Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, captured illegally by white racism and NATO. We say Africans unite. From Harlem to the Hague. We say from Harlem to the Hague, stop the attacks on Africa and African people. Africans unite. From Harlem to the Hague. Africans must unite. From Harlem to the Hague.
Oui, comment ça va? Ah non, je t'ai appelé tout le temps. Comment ça va? Non, je sais. Je vais filmer un peu et puis merci beaucoup. Merci.
President Laurent Gbagbo, President of Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, captured illegally by NATO and white racism. We say Africans must unite. Take us to
Ah, ça va. Comment ça va? Oui. All right. What's the wrong place?
fight back against white racism and Western imperialism.
Où sont les gens de New York?
We say Africans must unite. We say we must unite to stand for self-determination. From Harlem to the Hague, we say Africans unite. Stop the attacks on Africa and African people. From Harlem to the Hague, we say Africans must unite. Africans must unite. From Harlem to the Hague, our people are under attack. Let me say white. We say Africans must unite.
The motion that we were now a part of is carrying out the legacy that Malcolm left us. Because Malcolm told us that black people will never be free if we look at our struggle simply as one restricted to the United States. And we look at our struggle simply as a civil rights struggle, that we have to look at it as a human rights struggle. And so last June, the Pan-African Solidarity Hague Committee took 27 people from around the diaspora to The Hague in the Netherlands. We went to the International Criminal Court because we had a petition for the International Criminal Court to prosecute some criminals. Those criminals are part of a criminal enterprise known as NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Some of the members of that criminal enterprise are the United States, Canada, Britain, France, Spain, Italy. And they committed crimes, war crimes, they committed crimes against humanity, and the petition we took to The Hague spelled out what the crimes were and who they were committed against. The crimes were against Libya. In Libya, the NATO forces bombed and overthrew the legitimate regime of the Libyan people. They murdered the head of the country, Colonel Laurent. They destroyed the black population in Libya. They attempted to completely destroy the black population. In Haiti, some of you may have forgotten, in 2004, United States and Canada and France led the overthrow of President Jean-Bertrand Aristide of Haiti because he opposed further French interference in their economy. He talked about that France had to return to Haiti the $21 billion in reparations that Haiti was forced to pay to the French for freeing themselves from French colonialism and slavery. We talked about the Ivory Coast, where the president, Laurent Gbagbo, was forced to leave the country, was captured through the French bombing of the presidential palace, French interference in the internal affairs of Côte d'Ivoire, we were still trying to resolve the presidential election, much the same way that they tried to resolve the Bush-Gore election in 2000. But the difference is that no troops came in to resolve that and to put Bush in office. In France, in the Côte d'Ivoire, the French troops came in to carry out the mandate of France. And finally, we talked about the United States. We talked about the situation that black people in the United States face 400 years after we were brought here. We talked about the fact that we don't face chattel slavery, we face de facto penal slavery by our incarceration in penal institutions across the country. Where the 13th Amendment of the Constitution says slavery is illegal except when you're in prison. And why do you think most of us are in prison? So we took all that to the International Criminal Court and said, why is it that this institution, which is supposed to be neutral and international, is only prosecuting Africans? What happened to the war crimes that were committed by the United States and France and Canada and Spain and Italy, in Libya, in the Ivory Coast, in Haiti, and in the United States? And we said, if you do not prosecute them, if we give you all the evidence, if you do not prosecute them, you will have exposed yourself as simply a tool, another weapon in the arsenal of the West in its campaign to recolonize Africa and oppress African people. You were part of this campaign. It did not end on June 18th. It will not end today. It will continue until we achieve justice. One immediate objective is freeing President Laurent Gbagbo of the Ivory Coast. And once we have done that, we will continue with the other objectives of this campaign, which in the ultimate will end with the self-determination and sovereignty of African people in the continent and on throughout the diaspora. Thank you. Free President Gbagbo. Free President Gbagbo. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? I said the CIA is the number one enemy in the world today. What do you say? I said the CIA is the number one enemy in the world today. What do you say? I say death. You say two. I said death. You say two. You say death to a parent. I said death. Death. We have made a political marriage. Now we all come from Africa. Now say, you gotta know where your homeland is. You all know what you know. We have the brothers and sisters here from Cote d'Ivoire, holding on as the Ivory Coast. Will wait with us, live with us. And now in their own words, we want to hear from them to talk about why and why it is so important that we unite to free our president, their president, President Laurent Gbagbo. I'll let Brother Sylvester introduce him because every day a new one shows up and I can't remember all their names. Okay, now we have our brother, Dr. Eddie, who is from Philadelphia.
Is it okay? Is it okay?
The December 12th movement for this political unity, this union of action, this unity of action that we are creating at this time. And thank you for the support, thank you for committing to this international campaign. As Pan-Africanism is rising to free a person who for about 30 years as a student against the imperialism, against the Western imperialism, against the European imperialism, against the French imperialism, and somebody who today is detained at the Hague in the Netherlands. I mean the President Laurent, and that's the person we are campaigning today. The person who the freedom we are campaigning for today. This organization that I'm going to is named as the ADDD, for the African diaspora for democracy and development. This organization was put together as of last year, 2011. It was way of reforming the shedding of the Ivory Coast by the French, US, and NATO activities in the Ivory Coast. Just when the behalf of African people, to speak on behalf of black people, to speak on behalf of our ethnic group. We say thank you very much for what you have done, for what you continue to do. A minute ago I heard that you are the only lawyer left to reach for principles. I believe so because it is hard today to let things there. ICDD says for African American for democracy and development again that we have been back on the mission to cry out against the abuses against the human rights, to cry out against the violation of human rights, and to defend the constitution of the Ivory Coast, to defend the sovereignty of African nations, but to defend also the property of all Africans. As of now, this Saturday, actually, the ADC will be inviting you to the fundraising because we have to support all our government systems who are today working in other African countries. Let the Africans, because of the situation that the political power that we create by operating a shameful regime change. President Laurent will say a word about him for you to understand why it is important for us to rally in Harlem, to rally on the eve of the celebration, the commemoration of Marcus Luther's gallery to work when he was alive. Why do we need to do this? You see, this man, what picture is right there? President Laurent was the Ivory Coast. Before he became president, throughout his tenure as president before he was announced it, President Laurent for 30 years. Brothers and sisters, we promoted and restored for political freedom. We promoted multi-party political system. Not only in the Ivory Coast, but also all over Africa. President Laurent promoted peaceful transition to democracy. But he also promoted the conflict resolution through dialogue the African way. And he is actually the father of this affairs. Says, let us sit down and talk. Let us sit down and talk. He is a man of peace, of dialogue. He is a man not a dictator. He is a man of consensus. He is not a person, the strong man that the President Barack Obama wants you to believe he is by saying that Laurent Gbagbo is a strong man. He is not a strong man. President Gbagbo, matter of fact, as a man of peace, won in 2002 the Hiroshima Peace Award. Remember, in 1945, when there was a bomb drop in Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima and children there. We have this peace prize that is awarded every year to people who are fighting for peace in the world, and President Laurent Gbagbo has been working there, that the peace work is in the Ivory Coast. And you also know that you also the Martin Luther King Jr. prize for peace by Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, that was in 2010, before the election that we won, unfortunately, we had to push out of power. But I'm going to tell you something that is what Laurent Gbagbo said, and please, that provoked the anger and the anger of the imperialistic powers of the West today. One thing that the man spoke for himself is independence. Independence is a notion that we know an idea of rupture, an idea of separation, an idea of dislocation, an idea of
on the world itself. And this is what President Laurent promoted. You see, he set up two choices, or two strategic choices. One for economic independence, and the other one for political independence. What does mean for political independence? Self-reliance, number one. Number two, encourage local initiatives. Not initiatives coming from outside, coming from the foreign, but from the regional. Promoting regional integration. This is for the political independence. Because what Bolivia, economic independence is this. Let us get rid of all the debts that we owe those international financial institutions. I mean, we have the IMF and the World Bank. Let's get rid of all the debt that we owe. Because the more you owe, the more you are established. The more you owe, the more they come to you to wipe out, and once they wipe out, you are still bonded with them. And two of the corporations will are there. And before I take my stand, and I'm sitting here, very quick to tell you how President Laurent was challenged. Who you know, brothers and sisters, that this place right there has the guts to say, I am the head of state of the country, of the sovereign country, against state Secretary Hillary Clinton. It was in 2011. She wrote him a letter asking him to come into exile in the United States, to go to Boston where he will be assigned to teach at the university. And President Laurent said, I will rather stay in my country. This was considered to be an insult. Understand this? While President Obama dialed the phone and wanted to talk to him and tell him to step down from power, the men refused to pick up the phone because they believe in sovereignty. This was considered to be a challenge. While he was given 72 hours to leave the power by the French president, he said, I'm staying in the palace because the people of the Ivory Coast elected me and I'm not stepping down. This is what this land stands for, and this is the reason why we should demand his freedom right now from all imperialistic power. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Je n'ai jamais vu ça.
Brothers and sisters, we are just about to conclude. Before we do that, we always want to begin and end the same way. In the spirit, with the total commitment that we have started a campaign. Today was the beginning for us to tell Harlem, regardless of all the gentrification, regardless of all the big mega stores, Harlem belongs to African people. Harlem belongs to African people. If I say, you say, Harlem belongs to African people. Harlem belongs to African people. Harlem belongs to African people. We want to make an issue. Malcolm taught us, Marcus Garvey taught us, that if you want freedom, you have to be prepared to do what? You have to be prepared to fight for it. So we take the position that today we started the campaign in the rain, which means we are unafraid of nature because we are one with nature. The rain is part of the earth, part of the universe. You all have made a point that we can do our work. We have here today at least 35 people. We want to send a word to President Laurent Gbagbo in the ICC. And that word is this. If I say we are one people, you say we are one people. We are one people. We are one people. One aim. One aim. One aim.
world of terrorists will be over y'all. All right, brothers and sisters, are we going to fight? Are we going to fight? Are we going to fight? Thank you, brothers and sisters.
What's going on? What's the why is he in jail?
That's not this. He doesn't want to allow the Europeans to exploit our land, our raw material. He loves his country, his people. He was elected in 2000. And when he was in the process of putting together his plan to defend Ivory Coast, he was attacked in 2002. Our rebellion was made by France. It was all planned by France. And he tried to negotiate. He went everywhere.
Let me make it brief. It's all about re-colonization of Africa. They're trying to put people in power that's going to do their work because they're trying to control the whole economy of Africa. Ivory Coast, you drink chocolate and coffee, as the world first producer of cocoa, what chocolate is made of.
Right.
So they want to transform the whole country into plantations. So he's not playing ball. Kick him out and put somebody in place that's going to play the game. That's all the situation is about. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You didn't get the flyer? All right.